Hello Earth signs, it's the 3rd of August. This is your reading for the next 7 days. On the dice we have got Pisces, Pluto and the 9th house. The 9th house of spirituality, with Pisces being a very spiritual sign, that might be a strong theme this week. It can obviously speak of long journeys, internal or external, philosophy, higher learning, colleges, university. With Pluto, it's a very powerful energy. It's transformative ultimately, but it does have a lot of, vigor behind it. He is the god of the underworld, and it can speak of subconscious fears that kind of need to be addressed, really, because I am seeing at the base of the deck for all of the earth signs, the 6 of Cups in reverse. This is like something from the past. It can be like a broken soulmate connection. It can be like, right back to your childhood. There's something that's kind of unaddressed here. And I also have the Frog Princess at the base of the deck. Heed wise counsel and listen. So this might be a week where you maybe need a little a helping hand, or you may need to seek out some advice with whatever is coming through here, because it can be pretty despotic energy. That the Pisces and Pluto era, it speaks of a lot of like religious wars, people really pushing their agenda and being, what's the word? It's just like ramming someone's opinion home. It takes no account of anyone else's, feelings or opinion on anything. It feels like it's very forceful energy that's coming through for the earth signs. So I'm going to start with Capricorn. Capricorn, you've got the Ghost of the Pumpkin Patch, Count Your Blessings. This is a really nice card. It is asking you to, count your blessings. Maybe there's stuff that you've overlooked that you haven't been sufficiently grateful for. It is also a card about calling in some debts. There's something from the past here that hasn't been like, wrapped up properly. It still maybe leaves a bad taste in your mouth, and maybe somebody owes you something that you've worked hard for. And with it being the Creator in reverse, this can be some work that you produce, for example. But yeah, it is ultimately a really positive card. I think you've got a lot to be grateful for, that you should be focusing on in the next couple, 7 days or so. I've got the call, is it the call? The sighting and the Creator, but the Creator's in reverse here. Now, I don't know, maybe you're looking for a new sexual partner, because that's what the sighting can be. It's like, putting yourself out there. She's very much kind of femme fatale, seductress type energy, and it may be that there's something in that department that's blocked, or that's there's some sort of burden here. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of color here, and yet it feels lackluster. Everything feels a bit lackluster, like there's nothing to get particularly excited about. If you are a creative person, this can speak of writer's block, or just, running out of ideas in terms of how to, manifest whatever it is you'd like to manifest. The femme fatale, the siding here, I don't know if someone has like, a sort of scent for you, because overall the impression I'm getting here is that somebody is probably coming back around, but they haven't completed something properly yet again. It's almost like somebody wants to cut corners here. There's a feeling of shoddiness in this energy. The Knight of Swords reversed with the Eight of Pentacles reversed, it speaks to somebody who's not put in sufficient effort. The Knight of Swords can be someone who's, passive aggressive. It's someone who doesn't do things properly, doesn't do things honourably. And I don't know why I'm getting this vibe that someone's almost like been put back at school. That way they're getting held back because they haven't put in the work to complete something properly. Now this might be you going back to like a course that you once did, or maybe you want to go back to school, or take a completely different path, because there is something that is alluring, and as I say, there's maybe just like a lack of like color and excitement, because as much as the Ghost of the Pumpkin Patch is a really positive card, she looks washed out to me amongst all this color. I just feel that this is someone who's like, looking up at the sky thinking there must be more. to life than this. This can't be it for me. You know, you want colour, you want vibrancy, you want something to get excited about. Now, again, obviously, this can be you or someone you're dealing with, or a mixture of both here. But I'm getting the feeling that somebody is going back to something that they possibly didn't put sufficient effort in. The positives in this reading is the Two of Wands upright and the Fool card upright. Those are the only 2 out of the 6 that are in the upright. So there is a new beginning here, but in many ways the new beginning is to go back to something that's been overlooked or ignored or even rejected with the 4 of Cups reversed. Obviously, this could be somebody coming back to you who, you know, in some way, I don't know why specifically they're coming back, but something didn't work out for them, basically. It could be that. This could be somebody, you know, is a bit hot-tempered with the Knight of Swords, who's maybe made a rash decision and hasn't thought it through, and now they're doing a complete 180 here and heading back. But the decision is to start something new, but it is with something that's been overlooked before, whether that's in love or it's, you know, anything to do with, you know, creative pursuits. And yet there's just a feeling that somebody hasn't really learned any lessons here, because the World card should be upright. The World card, as much as it can be a completion of a cycle, and obviously it's saying that that's not been completed properly, it's also about having learned sufficient lessons from that cycle to start a brand new one. It's an integration of, you know, information and experience, and it's moving into a brand new chapter in your life. It just feels that there's been like insufficient work, effort, even focus. I feel the Knight of Swords is very distracted because it is Gemini in energy, and they do have, you know, the what's the word? I'm really struggling with my words today. A persona of needing a lot of stimulation and not being able to hold their interest, you know, in one thing to follow it through properly, and that's really what I'm getting. So as I say, it could be someone that you're dealing with, or it's something that you recognise as something you want to go back to, because as I say, there's a lot to be grateful for, but in many ways it feels like it kind of pales in comparison to all the colour that's ultimately in this reading. So I'm going to take an archetype on the Knight of Swords, because obviously he is a character. So if that helps you, show me why the Knight of Swords, or who the Knight of Swords reversed is for the Capricorn. Show me the Knight of Swords reversed for Capricorn. 2 more Knight of Swords reversed for Capricorn. Show me the Knight of Swords reversed for Capricorn. Networker. This is someone who conveys information only for personal gain, spreads fear and falsehood. He is in his reverse, so I tend to look at him more in his shadow attributes. This is someone, you know, that maybe reaching out to you this week, maybe making a connection, maybe has a lot of connections. I feel this is someone who is very actively minded, but it's not focused and it's not channeled, and ultimately the results are kind of scattered. And an advocate embraces negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. I do have the Mother, that's been trying to come out. So I don't know if this is, you know, this could be your child. It could be your mother. I doubt it very much. And someone who may have issues with their mother. Because there is something here that's not been healed. The 4 of Swords in reverse is under this as well. And this can go right back, you know, to childhood. There's an unresolved issue here. So maybe this Knight of Swords wants to communicate now with the networker here. Maybe he wants to put things right. But it is involving in some way kind of like going back a class, going back to, somebody needs to kind of go back to the drawing board and learn something that they haven't learned. Let's see, I'll just check the major arcana. Show me the Fool card for Capricorn. The Fool card for Capricorn. The Fool card for Capricorn. Where's the Fool going? What's this new beginning that's back the way for Capricorn? The Fool for Capricorn, please. I mean, it's still very scattered. It is the labyrinth. Someone might get lost on the way here because they have a lot of distractions. It could be in relation to a friend or a colleague. The Fool for Capricorn. Fool for Capricorn. I mean, this can obviously be you, and yeah, I mean, someone who just doesn't know where to go here. Because he should be going this way. This is the, you know, it's almost like this is the future. This whole reading is kind of like arse for elbow, basically, is what I'm trying to say. This person might be arse for elbow in terms of how they do things. Their energy is scattered. The labyrinth is people getting completely lost in a maze. I mean, literally this week, if this isn't resonating, this is to say that if you are on some sort of journey, and it might be a journey, a distance here, you might take a lot of wrong turns. You might get lost, you know. Your GPS might go down with the compass here. But somebody basically does want a new beginning. They're ultimately, I feel, not satisfied by the, you know, the sparkle, the lack of sparkle that's in their life just now, and they kind of need to go back the way. But I you know, whether they get there or not, I don't know, because even 43, 42, even the numbers are going back the way. Where does he want to go? Where does the Fool want to go? Can be you. Where does the Fool want to go? In their heart space, where do they want to go? They want to go back to a woman. A lucky woman, someone in sea is, you know, light-hearted, is fun, is almost like a lucky charm. They want to go back to some lucky times with a woman or someone who they consider a lucky charm. I do think this is this Knight of Swords. This is this masculine energy. So I don't know if they've ignored you or rejected you in the past, or, you know, that I don't know. They feel like somebody who's very, very scattered. So what is the decision or the choice in the Two of Wands for Capricorn? What is the decision? It involves deep emotion and bringing those emotions to the surface. What is the decision in the Capricorn reading, or the choice? What is the decision in the Capricorn reading? To travel, to visit someone, to, you know, reach out, send a message. This is the man, and I think he wants to make an apology or bring a gift or an invitation of some sort here. Again, I don't know, because I'm seeing the scythe and the magnifying glass here. The scythe is about cutting something out. Now this may be somebody, you know, in terms of what they're cutting out is a magnifying glass, or maybe done looking at something, done searching for whatever it was they maybe went off and searched for here. But yeah, basically that is the reading. They want to, they see a woman in their life here as someone who is lucky and fun, and they probably had a very good time with, and maybe their life was just that bit easier when they were in this relationship or this connection. It could be their own mother, to be honest, because I do have the mother at the base of the deck here. So there's a message coming through. They're making plans, or a decision to visit is going to involve, you know, divulging a lot of deep emotion. But honestly, I do think this person is still very, very scattered. So Capricorn, I'll take a wee bit of advice for the next week. Let me know if it resonates. What advice do you have for Capricorn for the next 7 days, my pumpkin patch? What advice do you have for the ghost of the pumpkin patch? Unleash the wild within. Let's come out a wee bit. And the Shaolin Master. Be graceful in movement and action. So this is a card of, you know, rewilding. This is a card of being unapologetic to yourself. It can sometimes mean that there's a huge outpouring of, you know, emotion and passion, sometimes a bit of rage, but it's been harnessed here, or you've been told to harness it with the Shaolin Master, because he's slow and steady. These energies are a little bit disparate. So you might want to throw your head back and, you know, roar or rip someone's head off, but you've been told to harness that energy and, you know, channel it in a healthy way, because the Shaolin Master really does, that's what he does. He stores energy, and he releases it exactly at the right moment, and that the right moment might be coming up when this person comes back. 1444. Moving on to, I did them a different way, Taurus, because I always end up in Taurus and there's always a stramash over in Taurus, very much recently anyway, so I thought I'd mix them up a wee bit. Taurus, you have got the delicate fairy and her ferrets. Change is natural good, and yes, it can hurt. I'm not sure what to make of this one yet. Right, so there is a big change here. This is talking about one cycle that's ending and a new one that is beginning. But this is usually the kind of in-between stage, and this is where someone can feel a little bit vulnerable, possibly a little bit fearful, sometimes even a bit defeated in some way. This card's about not really knowing where to go from here. It's a bit similar. No map, you know, no guidebook, no previous knowledge, nothing comfortable to fall back on. And you've got the empty room, that obviously you can be used someone else. The empty room is in reverse and the maiden is in reverse here. There is an enormous feeling of dissatisfaction here, because the empty room, as much as it can be like, you know, the void or the abyss, it's a place of nothing. It's, you know, it's moving into a house and there's nothing in it. It can speak of someone's, you know, inner being, to be honest. But when it's in reverse, this is like, it's insatiable. It can be a very greedy energy, but it's also, and this is a King of Wands in reverse down here. It's called the Hungry Ghost Spirit, you know. I think there's one in Chinese Feng Shui. It's literally insatiable. It doesn't matter what you put into it. This can be someone, if it's a person, that never feels any nourishment. It doesn't matter what they have, what they imbibe, sorry. There's just like no satisfaction. Can't get no satisfaction. And with the maiden here, again, in reverse, and it can speak of someone who's a bit of a novice at something, who has got a lot to learn. It's the Virgin, but in reverse, this is someone who's like, you know, waiting in their knight in shining armour. This is someone who's fantasizing. Now, this because this is the King of Wands in reverse, and there's definitely some sort of lie, confession, getting caught out here, maybe a bit possibly sending, you know, passionate messages. I don't know. This King of Wands can be a cheater. It could be a cheating husband. It can be someone who's very sexual. It can be a bit of a sexual predator with this combination, particularly possibly with younger women. Okay, let me just take a couple on them so I'm a wee bit clearer. What do I want? Because ultimately, and we've had the bunny boil. That's the one that sticks in my head. But there has been another one recently that's been rough as well for Taurus. And there is a couple here. Queen of Cups in the upright, clarifying the King of Wands in reverse. Behind him that he's got his back to is the Eight of Wands reverse. He might be like, you know, non-communicative just now. There might be some sort of delays here, but this can also speak of like, you know, a slightly kind of deviant passion is what I'm really feeling. The Queen of Cups is facing the opposite way to him, and she's looking directly at the Seven of Swords in reverse. She's basically calling out someone as a liar here, and it's something to do with their communication or who they're communicating with. She's not persevering with this anymore. She's not fighting for whatever this connection is anymore. And this guy is walking straight into the Judgment card. So he's getting some sort of karma, or he's making a final decision, or there is a final decision with regards to this connection, because there's someone here that is ultimately dissatisfied, but I don't know if they can be satisfied, you know. So let's have a look at the empty room. Tell me more about the empty room for Taurus. Recovery in reverse. And release. Now, this can be somebody that's got addictions. This can be somebody that has got an addiction. I don't know specifically what it be. It might be to younger women. It might be to sex. It might be to like speaking to lots of people. But they're not recovering from it. They're in the in-between. It's someone who needs to like move out of like possibly a comfort zone, but I don't know. I'm just the images that I'm seeing here is like a middle-aged man who is being packed out of the house, and then he's in some sort of, you know, dingy bedsit here, and you know, because he's probably done something stupid, or you know, maybe his relationship just broken down, And he's in the in-between. He doesn't really know what to do at this moment in time. I'm in the Maiden reversed. Maiden reversed. The Maiden card is a very sensual card. The Maiden reverse for Taurus. The Maiden reverse for Taurus. Completion. There's something wrapped up here. This can actually speak about a literal death. I'm not saying that, but you know, this the imagery in this card is someone who's very much saying, you know, the final goodbye. And she does have a lot of you know, family around her, and the family are in spirit. This is like her mother and her grandfather. He's a war veteran, and this is her, I think, saying goodbye to I can't remember who, but anyway, there is someone that's passed here. And it might be that, you know, it might be that there's just something ended here that somebody's just not getting over. Or they haven't got over yet. They're in that in-between stage. And that is the image I've got of this guy who sat in, like, you know, a bedsit. A damp, empty bedsit. Looking at the shreds of his life. And I don't know specifically if he's done something to create this. Or he's just on his head because this has ended. But there has been some sort of lie here. Let's go straight to what that's about. 7 of Swords for Taurus. 7 of Swords for Taurus, reversed. It's to do with love. It's to do with romance. It's a lie. It's too many. The mountains there. So there's a block. Show me the 7 of Swords reversed. 7 of Swords reversed for Taurus. Time. And the Mass, something said, and you know, I just heard, well, not obviously, because I get this card a lot and I don't hear this, but it's oh gosh, who sings this? I'm not going to sing it because I'm a really bad singer, but it's Time is on my side. Yes, it is. Is that Cinnamon? No, it's not Cinnamon, but it's I think there is a connection there with Cinnamon. Maybe it is Cinnamon. Anyway, when I hear that song, I remember a movie by with Denzel Washington in it, and it's about a guy who goes to the gas chamber, but he's able to move his spirit through people. I can't remember what it's called. It's really fucking disturbing, because he'll be walking down the street and he'll touch someone, and you know, his spirit will move into them, and he'll start singing this song again. And Denzel Washington's trying to obviously get to the guy. But he can't, because his spirit keeps moving around people and controlling them. Basically, it's like a kind of possession. So I don't know why I'm getting this like kind of empty ghost feeling up here. I literally feel that in some way they're being haunted by someone, you know, that's from their past. And they might need to get some help with this. But there's been a lie here. There may be a confession that somebody's been hiding something with regards to love. Show me the 8 of Wands reversed on this King of Wands. The 8 of Wands reversed on this King of Wands for Taurus. Coffin again. This can just mean an ending to communication, but there's something like shut down here. It is a card of misfortune and, you know, possible and actual death. It's not a prediction, but I think this is maybe what someone is dealing with. Fish. So money might be an issue here. And that can sometimes represent sex. This can be someone who's repressed sexually, or, you know, not getting any satisfaction, or they're insatiable in that department, or addicted. Let me see this King of Wands. Take an archetype. Show me the King of Wands reversed in the Taurus reading. King of Wands reversed. Visionary in reverse, and a beggar in reverse. Honestly, someone is having some real issues with money, and they're also a Don Juan, because I think they've spoiled a relationship here. And this doesn't need to be a love relationship. The Queen of Cups can be someone's mother. This is like coming back home to mummy, with the begging bowl out here. I didn't see it coming, Mum. Don't know what I've done. Well, you do, because you know you've been a Don Juan. You've been playing with like maidens here, and that's done now, because you're, you know, 55 and you've got a beer belly and nobody's interested, I don't know, but they're a beggar now. They're depending on someone else, and there might be some sort of misfortune here in connection with money. Right, let's just go to the Judgment. What is the Judgment? The summing up for this King of Wands. Yes, we know he's a man. Thank you, Spirit. What is the Judgment? The Judgment call. And Judgment is pointing right down to the Nine of Wands in reverse here. My wounded warrior. This is exhaustion. This is burnout. I don't know. I really am getting the feeling that someone literally feels haunted here. They might. I mean, I've not got like a Nine of Swords or something, but I'm just getting this vibe because that Denzel Washington movie has got a lot of freaky moments in it, and his head is like whipping as he's going down the road because every person that passes him on the street is singing this same song, and he, he's utterly exhausted. He can't kill this guy. Won't spoil the ending. We haven't seen it. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. I'll post the song on my community page. Right, let's see the Judgment. The Judgment for this King of Wands. The Judgment for the King of Wands reversed. This is loss. The Mice is a card of loss. It's theft. It's corruption. It can be infection. It's deterioration, and this is the Nine of Wands reversed. Someone is utterly exhausted. Eight of Wands reversed, Nine of Wands reversed. And not recovering or needing to recover, and maybe this is them going back home to the Queen of Cups, possibly. I don't say she's at home. She's calling him a liar, or she's witnessing some sort of confession here. Show me the Queen of Cups in the Taurus reading. Queen of Cups. Oh gosh, she's pretty cold for a Queen of Cups. An engineer. Came in reverse as well. Queen of Cups in the Taurus reading. Queen of Cups in the Taurus reading. Who is she? What's she looking at? Houston, we have a problem. That ain't no loving Queen of Cups here. Or this is how she's looking at this guy as a vampire. Someone who is chronically depletes their energy, is a sucker, sucker dry. He's coming back as a beggar. I don't know if she's prepared to help this person. Let's see what their connection is. What is the connection between the Queen of Cups and the King of Wands? Connection between the Queen of Cups room. Although can just be the family room. There's something, maybe some sort of privacy here, but it's usually they probably shared a home together or share a home together. Connection with the Queen of Cups and the King of Wands reversed. Queen of Cups and King of Wands reversed relationship. Pleasure seekers. Man, now somebody's sick. This is my hangover after a wild night of partying and playing around. I feel that this man wants this Queen of Cups to take care of him, and he's coming back as a beggar. What else did you get? I've forgotten now. A Don Juan, a beggar, and a visionary, a lack of vision. Didn't see it coming, Mom. Didn't see it coming. So I just don't know if she's going to help him, basically. And I don't know if you're the Queen of Cups in this reading. You're more likely her than anyone else. But his judgment is, this guy is probably sick. He's certainly got money issues. He may have, relationship issues. Show me the Mice. What is the Mice for this man in terms of judgment? Prison. Now, isn't that weird? He's got a female enemy down here. This might be the Queen of Cups. Because seeing that movie is when this guy is in prison and he gets the, I don't know if it's the gas or the lethal injection. What do you call it? It's a lethal injection, isn't it? I don't know. This is like somebody rotting away in prison. This is somebody, if they are going to prison, they're going down for a long time. And there might, whoever this Queen of Cups is, there might be no forgiveness here. Because this might be somebody who's bled or dry. Honestly, Taurus, absolutely off the charts. Show me. Taurus advice. Advice for the Taurus. Retreat and charge. Retreat and recharge, the Hermit. Which can speak about the prison is. This is somebody who's like, you know, tied to something. They're not in actual prison. But I'm honestly seeing someone who is, you know, at home, in bed, or, you know, in a cell. Or is having to, like, I mean, initially I saw him in like a bed sit here on his own. It might be that. This is just somebody who is recuperating. But if it's you, for the time being, you have to go into hermit mode. Pull back your energy. Retreat, recharge, meditate, chill. Don't make any rash decisions here. Okay. Female enemy. Gosh almighty. I might do. I don't think most of you guys have got any Taurus placements. I don't have all of your placements for a few of you, but Taurus is not a sign that it comes up for you guys in the main. Let me see. Moving on to Virgo. Tidy. Gosh. Yeah. The drama. Okay. Quetzalcoatl and the Priestess of Time. This is a great card. This is about taking action. A time of, you know, have you been postponing something, or, you know, putting it off for as long as you can, avoiding it, thinking about it. This is time. And this is big energy. This is very much kind of like, you know, Emperor energy. You've got to act now. You've not to delay a moment longer in terms of activating your life path, doing what you're supposed to do. There's a lot of power comes through with this card, and it is the vow with the mystic. I always struggle a wee bit with the mystic here. I think it may be in terms of, do you know, it's weird. What I saw with this combination is, you know, when like people cut their hand and they make a pact. It was like some sort of pact, and I don't know why. I don't know why anyone would do that, but it might be like some sort of like, you know, I'm not saying it's a blood ritual, but it might be like an initiation into something. So it doesn't need to involve that, but there's a promise here that is now being acted upon. I don't know what that means. The promise, the vow, can speak about a contract of some sort, and it's maybe something with the mystic that you have envisioned, that you've already seen. Now, this might be that you get a reading, and you know, a reader has told you something, or a medium has told you something that's been promised to you, and now it's coming and you have to act upon it. It is very kind of mystical, this one. And then, blimey, I've got 6 cards here, and 5 of them are reversed. The only one in the upright, which sticks out like a sore thumb, is the Wheel of Fortune. And that is a card of time. Time is on my side. I really do think for some of you, this could be some sort of past life connection. Or you're maybe becoming more aware of your past life. So you might have a dream about your past life, or you might do some past life regression. And it's going to put you on a path, literally, of your destiny, because there's something that's been promised to you. House of Spirituality, death and rebirth, transformation. There's a mystic vow here that's going to put you in your path. And I really feel if you focus on that, all of this is kind of going to fall away. Because this almost feels like an energy that doesn't want you to take this route. And that can just be someone in your life, or it can be a higher force. Let's put it that way. The Devil in reverse and the Page of Swords in reverse. This can speak of someone who is obsessed with spying on someone, obsessed with arguing, obsessed with lying. And that may be something you become aware of, or something you choose to break free from. And then we've got a 5 of Cups and a 5 of Swords, all in reverse. there is like an attempt to recover from a loss here. It's been an emotional loss here, but this is like the stalker ex, basically. This Two of Cups that he's looking at is a connection, and he's obsessed with it. And this is something that is quite putrid, with the Star in reverse, which I don't know. This feels very kind of occultish, you know, with the 9th house and Pluto here, and me seeing this blood pack and an initiation. So I don't know I don't know specifically what's going on here, but you know, someone maybe doesn't want to fight, someone maybe wants to smooth things over. They may be like depressed. There's certainly a nod to depression and disappointment here, but I'm seeing this as like a kind of breakaway energy. Doosh, going out that way, you can't see it. I mean, that's like an aeroplane taking off over there, and this is all left behind, like to turn to dust. I know that sounds crazy, but you've got to say what you see. See what you see. Where was it said that? Bob somebody. Say what you see. Can't get it. It's a game show. My sister and I love it. Dead competitive. Right, let's just have a look at the bow, shall we? Bring it back to the 3D. See if it can apply to normal life. Show me the vow with the mystic for Virgo. The vow with the mystic. The mystical vow. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a card of pleasure. It's also the invitation. It can be a gift. It can be an apology. And you've got the lilies as well. Here's a lot of, you know, floral energy. The lilies is a card of honesty, integrity, something for the long term. It speaks of permanence and morality. Doesn't tell me what it is, but you might get some sort of invitation. Maybe you've been asked to join a coven or the craft. I don't know. One more for the vow and the mystic. I know I want to bring it into 3D, but I actually need more pictures. The vow and the mystic for Virgo. The vow and the mystic for Virgo. Please Spirit, what is this vow and the mystic for Virgo? It's the sun. Kind of come out in reverse there. Right, so look at the Six of Vessels in reverse again, and that's what's at the base of the deck here. That's the card of not reuniting with someone here. And the Sun in reverse, particularly in this deck, speaks of a masculine energy. So maybe you've made a promise to them, they've made a promise to you, but it might be a promise not to renew something. As much as the bouquet can be a card of renewal. Where did that come out there? This is a breath of life, the Ace of Arrows, power, truth, instruction and dedication to the seer, the High Priestess, and we've got Pisces here. I don't know what it is though. Show me one more for the vow. Tell me more about the vow for Virgo, please. The Ace of Stones is in reverse, the foundation of life. I don't know. The Death card is in reverse now, but the Wheel is in the upright. The Wheel is changing, is turning, almost like whether you like it or not. This is happening. It's out of your hands. I don't know why, but it is. What's the Wheel of Fortune for Virgo? The Four of Arrows in reverse. Rest. No more resting. It's time to go. This whole deck in reverse. Just give us a few reshuffles, Virgo. For Virgo. Virgo, the next 7 days. Tell me about the Wheel of Fortune for Virgo, please, Spirit. The Wheel of Fortune for Virgo. The Knight of Arrows, the Hawk. This is action. And now we've got the Ace of Vessels. So we've got 3 aces here. So things are changing either with regards to a Knight of Arrows. I'm actually seeing it in terms of your sight because it's the Hawk. There's like new love here. There's dynamism. There is power. There is a no here as well though, and I just think it's like I don't know. I see someone who's going on their own path here. So, and I think there's an energy down here that does not want that to happen. It's almost like they're seeing their star, you know, their guidance, their hope of healing going off in that direction. See the Devil. Show me the Devil for Virgo. The Devil. Moon. There's the other card speaking, and the Stars. This is a card of intuition, deep emotion, but it's also like there's an obsession here. There's an obsession that someone, or an addiction that someone is trying to get over. Tell me more about the Devil. The Devil is a card of bondage, being trapped in a lie. He inverts everything into the negative. Someone could be having a lot of really negative dreams here, a lot of frightening dreams. Obsession. Show me the Devil. The Devil with the Moon in the Virgo reading. The Devil and the Moon. Right, that's the internet and the media. So that's the stalking. That's watching someone online. I'm getting drugs as well. Like really big drugs, not just little drugs. Heroin and cocaine. I don't know. I don't know if that's someone that you've been dealing with here, or I think this is someone in some way who's self-medicating in terms of dealing with their emotional state and their obsession with watching either you or something online. This might be someone who watches things online that almost terrify them. It's kind of macabre, you know? It's like watching a car crash. There's no pleasure in what they're doing. I know I have split that off, and I think I was right to do it, because I've just got to go on my intuition. It feels like it's split off. Show me the 5 of Cups reverse for Virgo. It's anxiety about talking, communication. But when somebody does speak here, they're really immature. They're probably a very mean speaker, and they're probably a compulsive liar. There's an end to communication here. The Star for Virgo reversed. The Star for Virgo reversed. And somebody wants to build bridges. Somebody wants to communicate that they want to put things back together. And because it's already ended. And there's somebody just not over it. High the Swords reversed for Virgo. High the Swords reversed for Virgo. I see this is just coming through. Somebody wants to smooth things over. They want their star back. They want their hope back. They want their optimism back. Might want to be a celebrity, and someone else is getting. I know I don't see that, but there is most definitely a desire here for healing and reunion, and it's not happening. This is a snake. So there might have been an argument about a third party, but this is just someone who can be jealous and can be, you know, triangulate you. And now they want to get married straight up, and somebody wants to, like, you know, get engaged. And I honestly, I'll take your advice, Virgo, but I see you moving a different direction, because this is incredibly negative, and you might already know that. Virgo, the Advice for my Quetzalcoatl princess. Advice for my Quetzalcoatl princess. Advice for my Quetzalcoatl princess in Virgo. Advice for Virgo. Advice for Virgo. It's the one, please. My God, it's the High Priestess. It's the Oracle of Delphi. You've got Pisces here. You've got the 9th house of spirituality. You've got the Quetzalcoatl. It's time. There's a mystic promise here. This is almost like, in many ways, fulfilling your life's destiny. And I don't know specifically what it is, but you are going to be harnessing some mystic power here. And the devil don't want you to go. Devil doesn't need to be a person, much as that's how we read it. It's an energy. High Priestess. Crikey, this is a huge reading. High Priestess. And because I keep saying that film, it's like life after life after life, you know. This is nothing new in that film. I wish I could remember the name of it. Because he literally dies, but he's able to possess body after body after body. It's almost, you know, this is like something that has gone through the ages. And you maybe have some like serious karma with someone here that you're reliving this lifetime. Align with the light and focus on all things positive. The High Priestess is the physical embodiment of the divine feminine, the goddess in human form. She has had many names through time and space, but her essence has remained similar, fierce, powerful and disciplined. In many traditions, particularly pre-Christian, the High Priestess was in charge of spiritual and religious orders and was the voice of authority and guidance from the gods. The High Priestess in this deck is the consort and partner of the High Priest. If you look at them together, you'll see they mirror each other's energy. She is joined by a black cat representing the Egyptian goddess Bast, who protects her from lower energies, and she stands strong in her glory and power. You are a mystic with the capacity to connect with energies that go beyond the human senses. Within you is a force of magic that is directed by your will. There is an opportunity for you to rise up at this time, but it requires discipline and dedication, and you're being guided to look at what you're working on or at the situation before you and determine where your priorities lie. If you're unable to figure out, you must use your intuition and discernment to focus on what will bring you closer to your goal and the happiness of everyone involved. So when this card arrives, it's also important for you to check in with your intuition, as it will give you guidance that will be important for your growth. That is massive. I'm gonna listen to this one back. That is massive. Massive. And this is all this lower energy that is trying to prevent you going on your life's purpose. Love it. Have a great week, guys. Bye.